concentrating on the three sectors. The first would be banking, then the next sector would be equity market, and the third would be IT market. Apart from this, I would also be giving a brief synopsis of the budget, just a snapshot of what are the main points of the budget. The banking sector and equity sector would be handled by me, and the rest would be taken over by my colleague Ravi Singh. So the highlights primarily of the budget, as Professor Muni has also mentioned, the primary thing has always been the fiscal deficit. Now the fiscal deficit targeted last year was 5.9%, and for this year coming forward for 2013 it has been targeted to 5.1%. Now the 5.1% figure comes to approximately 5,13,000 lakh crore. That is the approximate amount which comes to the budget. Apart from this, there is the revenue deficit also, which was last year at 2.9%, and this year it is projected at 1.8%. So you can see the deficit is slowly coming down, but it's still not at the manageable levels as Professor had mentioned. The other point is the capital and the revenue expenditure. The capital expenditure, however, has risen to about 30.6%, and the revenue expenditure has gone to about 10.7%. This is the projected figures forward. Now, the main thing where the common man would find the pinch, is in the tax thing. It's like the service tax, which is for the services sector, and the customs duty, which is for the manufacturing goods. It is proposed that these two would be increased from 10 to 12%. Now this additional 2% is expected to generate a revenue of about 45,940 crores. Apart from this, the disinvestment target which the government has proposed for this year is 30,000 crores, which is 300 billion, which is more than the earlier year target of 155 billion. The inflation, as you could say, has come down. It was 9%, and projected ahead, it's expected to be around 6.2%. Now this, the graph which you are seeing is just giving you a brief idea of where the sectors are positioned. Now you can see that the major pinch has been on the oil sectors, oil marketing and the oil production companies. It is due to the high production cost of the crude oil. And relatively on the other side, you could see the other sectors which are in green, which are comparatively in an okay position. Other than this oil sector, these are infra, power, and the textile. Now, I'll just give a brief outlook which RBI has predicted for the next year. This is just a brief which they had in target for 2011-12 and going ahead for 2012-13 what they have projected. Now you can see from that the agriculture and industry is projected to grow ahead, but the pinch can be in the services sector, which is expected to come down from say 9.4 to 8.7%. That is primarily the reason why the government has increased the service tax by 2%. Apart from this, you could see the rupee also, which is at 48 approximately now, expected to come down to 46.5% approximately. Now coming to the core areas where I told I would be concentrating, first is the banking and finance. If you could just see at the deposits as well as the credit. Now for the credit growth, last year had grown by 21.6%, but this year the credit growth was only 15.8%. Now compare this with the deposits. The deposits last year had grown by 16%, and this year they have grown by 15%. So if you could just say liabilities and the assets, you could see that the growth in the assets has comparatively been lesser than the growth in the liabilities. Now, what has been the budget impact on the banking sector as a whole? So I have divided this into 6 types. Now, I'll show you what are all the 6 types. This is classified as A, B, C, D, E, F, and then I will tell you what have been their outcome on the banking sector as a whole. The first is the home loan. As you must be knowing, the government has proposed to continue with the 1% subvention on the home loan. Subvention means it's form of a subsidy which was there last year, and it is being continued this year also till 2013. It is for houses up to 1.5 million. It is for that bracket where the subsidy has been continued. Apart from this, the priority sector, which any government has always focused on, the priority sector, it is proposed to increase the lending to the priority sector. Last year it was 4750 billion. Going ahead, it is proposed that it should be about 5750 billion dollars going ahead. Sorry, not dollars, it's in rupees, sorry. Apart from this, there is as you all know, the Basel III reforms are expected to come. The Finance Ministry has always looking for the capital structure of the public sector companies. Now, for this, last year, government had given 60 billion for it. Now, this year, they have allotted 159 billion for it. This 159 has been split up as 146 billion will be for primarily meeting the Tier 1 capital of the PSU banks, and the 13 billion is for NABARD, is for Exim Bank, and is for the RRBs, that is the regional banks. Then, for refining the rural banks, the NABARD has been given a target of 100 billion, which it has to lend to the sector, to the RRBs, that is. Now, one good point about this is for banking is that this year government has introduced the exemption of income tax up to rupees 10,000 earned on the savings account. So this can be taken as an exemption in your income tax, which is a very bright step forward. Apart from that, the interest rates, as you know, RBI always plays with it. So only the year ahead would tell exactly in which direction are we going, as will be the global economy and how the RBI will plan. According to that, the interest factors would lay. If you could see now, there are these banks, SBI. This is just a general criteria where we have defined which factors affect this. The factors like home loan, farm credit, capital structure, and these factors are affecting these banks. Going ahead, I'll focus on my second part, that is the equity markets. There has not been so exciting news for equity markets, except there are some 2 or 3 points which I would like to shed light on. First is, they have reduced the securities transaction tax, that is STT. That has been reduced from 0.125% to 0.1%. Now, STT is charged every time you buy or sell shares. So the main aim of the government is to increase retail participation. So for doing that, they have reduced this STT. Apart from this, to encourage first-time investor, they have introduced a new scheme called the Rajiv Gandhi Equity Savings Scheme, which would allow a 50% income tax deduction for retail investors with a income up to 1 million per annum. And if they invest this money for 3 years, they would be getting a 50K deduction. Now, the budget impact, as you could see, is the majority is like on the gold. Now, gold prices, if you accumulate it for the last 3 years, it has increased from about 20.83%. This is primarily due to demand of gold, and as well as Indians have a sentiment value attached also to gold. Now, government is thinking about diverting this to other sectors as well, the investment in gold to concentrate on other sectors as well. So they have increased the customs duty from 2% to 4%. Apart from this, the growth targeted last year was 6.9%, and going ahead, they have targeted for this year, the growth would be 7.6%. Now I would hand over to my colleague, Ravi Singh.
So whenever IT clicks, the main thing which clicks into the common mind is internet. It has been quoted by Ernst & Young that if 10% investment in internet can result into 17 billion increase in GDP of India. So what exists in this budget? So primarily we have classified the IT industry of India into 4 sectors, which are IT services, IT enabled services, commonly known as BPO, IT software and IT hardware. Now IT services has forecasted a growth of 18 to 20%, but the previous year growth in the first quarter of 2011-12 was 18 to 20%. While in the second quarter, the third quarter, the growth was down by 14 to 15%. The prime reasons for given for the slowdown of the growth was macroeconomic condition prevailing in US and the Europe market. The hardware growth of the industry has also been on downturn from 20% to 8.5%. And the reasons which are being given for the IT hardware industry for the downturn is again the macroeconomic conditions. As you can see that the increase in IT services revenue in previous year was not due to the increase in the prices, but the prices remained flat. There was an increase in the volume part of it. The ITS, that is IT enabled service export, has forecasted an increase of 13% year-on-year basis. The reasons which has been given was that the IT industry would continue to increase by 16.5% annually, and IT industry occupies 55% of the global IT market. I would finally like to conclude that the overall budget for the corporate India was neutral, and the main concerns were high borrowing cost, high cost of crude oil prices, uncertain global economic environment, and pressure on operating margin. Thank you.
You had said that in the farm credit, the credit, especially the banking sector, what will be the impact on savings? What has been the saving rate, and what